Hello, my homesteading family. Today's another beautiful day. So, hubby and I, he's off work on the weekend, so we're both working this homestead. I had promised you, and from here on through, I'm keeping it all homestead. Now, occasionally you will find that when I do my cooking, I'm doing low carb. Again, my husband's a diabetic. We are so very close to getting him off his meds. It's a hallelujah moment for us. So, we're staying on this path. So, but I am also currently not diabetic. I took this journey with him, so I'm pretty much at my weight loss. So I'm at the point of maintaining. So occasionally you'll see me baking bread and stuff for me. It takes me a while to go through it. And when I do, this is where the versatile part of me is. I can do low carb and I can do regular. So, and I really hope that don't bother anybody. Unfortunately, I have to stay on this path. But fortunately, it's also a blessing because it's helping my husband and we're staying away from the doctors. So I never dreamed when we started this 5 years ago, what a blessing this homestead could actually be for us. And to stay in our lane, to stay in our path of what we're doing, I'm appreciating this place more and more. And I'm thankful for the leading that took us here. To be self-sufficient to the best of our ability, to the most of our ability with what little we have, which in a sense of it for two people, it's quite big. But in another sense of it, it's really small. So we are limited down to just raising fowl and raising honeybees, having a good sized garden for two people where we can dehydrate and freeze. I'm ecstatic about this year. For once in my life, I found so much appreciation for what we have that I don't mind sharing this. I honestly don't. I don't mind taking you on this journey with us because to have a family like this, it's amazing. And to be able to share with everyone, stepping aside from all else around us and just staying focused in our lane, to be able to share this with somebody whether it be survival, whether it be for improving our health, whether it be for cutting our cost, this is a valuable land that we live on, and the things that we're doing, I'm really happy with it. Currently at our moment, I did plant some plants, and we have, like I said, we've got kale and stuff. I'm starting to see some sprouts, yes. The tomatoes are starting to sprout, and so is the basil. I have 2 Jamaican sorrel plants, which produce amazing fruit. And once these get bigger, I can't wait to share this with you. But they're all starting to sprout. So, and hubby is currently working on our new bee boxes. In about another month and a half, our new set of bees are coming in, and I can't wait. We've learned a lot. We're still learning right now so that we can improve our hives this time and hopefully succeed a lot better. Another thing, and I'm going to show you this one today. I told you I was waiting for my quail eggs. This one kind of disturbs me a bit because I ordered these about the 5th or 6th of February, and the mark for it, they told me to allow 16 to 18 weeks. What bothers me here in Mississippi, we get some pretty high humidity and heat, and this is going to bring me towards June. I am really hoping at this moment that they can ship my eggs a lot sooner because that's going to make it hard on me. However, I have learned a few things about incubators. Now, why do we choose eggs to incubate ourselves instead of just buying the birds? To me, it's more efficient. And to explain why, to purchase each bird, it's like purchasing a plant. Now we're looking at this year on plants between $5 to $6 a pot. Basically, it's the same thing per bird. And to give you an example, I bought 25 eggs from my Shire farm of quail. They're out of Missouri. They're an amazing company. I know that they're a good quality, and I've experienced this before with them. I've ordered before. I got out of quail for a little while and I'm getting back in. So I know I'm ordering from a very reputable company. The other part of it is I ordered 25 eggs, which basically half of that is even good enough for me. If I can get 50% hatch rate, if I can get more, that's even better. But they're shipped. And now this can be a downfall on shipped eggs, and I get that. But it's the same thing if we were to purchase chicks and have them shipped. So the difference between that though, with my 25 eggs, and though I paid shipping, I paid about $40 for my eggs with the shipping cost. If I were to do this per bird, it would have been so much higher. And though I'm getting a mixed batch, it gives me a chance to get a rooster. If I get more, that's fine. I know what to do with them. But and I can pray that I can get, you know, more hens out of it than roosters. But even that, it's a better balance, me doing this by eggs than it is by bird. Yes, I could get straight pullets and one rooster if I wanted to, but again, what would my expenses be? I'm going to take and evaluate out which is my better option. For me, eggs are my better option than buying the chicks. The same thing with chickens. And then here I look at it this way. I do a one-time purchase. From here out, at least for a couple years before I have to recirculate, I can go from my own stocks. I can replenish my own stocks for a little while. So this is a good thing. Same with my chickens. I can get my first stock. Yeah, you can purchase your first set of chicks, but no, you're going to pay just as much as if you ordered the egg. Unless you find a local farmer somewhere who's willing to do that. And fertility rates could be varying. I don't know if I trust everybody. So, I mean, it's chances. We all take chances. Same with us purchasing chicks. We take chances because basically, will they survive? Were they reputable? Were these babies sick? Are we bringing this home to our homestead? There's just so much to figure out. Eggs, to me, are safer. Incubators. Okay, so there are so many incubators. Personally, we choose a cheaper brand. Basically, here's the bottom line. And I've learned this recently too, and it makes sense. When I listened to the videos from My Shire Farms, he explained really a very big truth about incubators, store-bought. And I don't care if you have the most expensive with a cabinet or not. Basically, all incubators can lie. And then there's the atmosphere that we live in. We live in a very humid state. So this can affect our incubation. Now, I will say that we purchased a very cheap brand. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you and explain to you a little bit about what we've done, how we're doing this, and maybe this might help you. So it doesn't have to be fancy, the incubated egg, y'all. Seriously, it doesn't. I have done so many eggs, but I did notice the last year especially, and the year before that, things started going downhill for us when we started trying to incubate our turkey eggs. Basically, our brooder girls they brood, however, they were lazy brooders. Most generally, the eggs were on the outside of them. They were not really great brooders, so it was better for me to incubate those eggs. However, the incubator that I once had, I purchased used. This was almost 5 years ago. I started noticing the fan in it was getting really rough. It started making this noise to it, and I noticed that my hatch rate, the ceiling on this incubator we had was too many air holes. It was just becoming extremely bad. We were not getting a really good hatch rate, so it was time, thank you to my baby, it was time for a new incubator. So we basically set it up the same way that we set this old one up, and I'll show you how we done this, and many things that might help you if you're doing this for yourself, which I really highly recommend. But if you're doing this for yourself, I'm going to give you a few pointers that's going to help you a lot. So let me take you over to my incubator and let's see what we can do to maybe help ease some of the frustrations you may have, or maybe even help you lose the stress of being able to incubate your own eggs. So let me take you to this. Okay, so this is the incubator that we purchased. Now, I will tell you, I would personally look at your local feed store versus Amazon, and here's why. We got this from a feed store out of Tupelo, and it was like $59 for this incubator. It's amazing. It has a thermometer, and I'll give you an example of what it looks like, but this is the box with it. So now it does not have the turner. I already have it. I have the quail turner, and I have the rails for regular chicken eggs. It does not have a fan. You will have to purchase that. So I actually already have all three of these that we did separately. But I actually, all in all, and generally, I like this incubator. But there, like all others, has some flaws. So I'm going to show you what the incubator looks like itself and show you some of the improvements that we added for it. Okay, so for $59, basically it came with this top right here. It's got your heat gauge, your humidity gauge. It's got these, ooh, sorry about that, y'all. I'm one-handed here. It's got these red stoppers, and when it's time for the babies to be hatched or they're hatching, these come out for airflow. It's also got these tiny little air circulations all the way around it. So it basically comes with this meter. It has this bottom, and it's got this plastic grid down here. Now, I have a solution for this plastic grid. This is where the babies are supposed to stay on it, but the few flaws that I learned from this as well. Number one, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can pop this out for you and show you some better examples. Okay, I got it out now. So it's got this well in here. This is where it holds your water when it's time for the humidity range. So this works really well. It's got holes. No, this one don't. My other one did, but this one don't. So basically, before lockdown, when you go to do your lockdown, you're going to fill your little wells with water. So, and it'll hold your humidity. Now, this rail, these are plastic. Now, this is supposed to be a support for the baby's legs. But here is some of the issues that I've had with this. There's a thing called splay leg. And what it is when you get a surface that's slick, and mind you, this, honestly, this plastic is pretty slick. I've had some pretty bad experiences with these bottoms. So I don't particularly trust it. So here's what I did to fix that solution. I went to Dollar Tree, and these little non-slip mats for $1.25, I will cut out, and this is skid proof. It sticks pretty good to these plastic rails. I've had high success rates of less splay legging, which splay legging, I'll explain. That's when the legs start going out from each other. And seriously, it is a very hard situation to correct. If you do not catch this where you can hold those legs together within 24 hours, honestly, this baby is done. They can't stand up. They can't walk. It's so hard on their life. Honestly, it's done. So I had to find a way to stop this because it is heartbreaking. So this non-skid mat, it's just a roll of it. It's about 12 inches by 72. And so I get quite a bit of this shelving. It's not exactly the size, so I'll cut out maybe 2 pieces of this and size it up on this mat. And I will make it fit inside this shelving unit and provide a safer place for my babies to walk in as they are being hatched. So, like I said, inexpensively, y'all, $1.25. You can do a lot with this, and they're washable and reusable. So that's another plus. So I would suggest using skid mats on the bottom of your incubators. It will save you a lot of headache, and it will save the babies' lives a little bit better. So I'm hoping these are helping you. The other thing that we did, now I did tell you that this incubator was $59 and it doesn't come with the fan. However, we did order the fan. Now you can save this fan or by going to Amazon. Honestly, here's where it was a give and take here. We had an opportunity. The incubators were more expensive on Amazon, but the fans were cheaper on Amazon. So we decided to go ahead and order this fan. It was about $25 to $32 for them, but it's worth it because these fans actually help circulate your air. It's amazing to have this. It will help keep your temperature in a more sprawled out, even airflow to this. My experience is the reason I'm suggesting purchasing a fan is based to the still air. The still air can get hot in one place and not so much on the outside. You really want to keep a steady heat on your eggs to the temp that they require. Now, like quails, they're anywhere from 99.5 to 100. So in order to get a good hatch rate, to be able to have this fan, I would have to circulate my air. So I'd highly encourage getting a fan with these. But again, I mean, we purchased this for under $100, doing it piece by piece. The other thing I will suggest, because I don't, and I have found this myself in 2 different type of incubators that we've had like these, and it doesn't matter on any one you have. You can have the most expensive, and honestly, you're going to have the same issue. The fact is, they don't accurately give your humidity and your temps. Now, I was referred, and I'm going to try this year. My sire was referring, and whether it's quail eggs, chicken eggs, turkey eggs, whatever eggs you're hatching, I bought a secondary thermometer and hygrometer. Now, up here would read my temperature, down here would read my humidity. These are a little bit more accurate. They sit inside your incubator, and it gives me a secondary to go by whether this one is working or not. This would give me a second chance to be able to see if I can get a better hatch rate. I am doing this stuff early this year so that I can be prepared and hoping and praying that I have better hatch rates, a better experience with my babies, and to be more successful. But in doing so, I thought I'd share with you in case anybody's interested in this, because like again, I would highly recommend this. To be honest with you, I really would highly recommend doing your own. Chicks are like plants. We have to choose our better options. For me, eggs are my better options. So I am hoping that my roosters this year, I have one that's about 2 years old and one, well, they're both about 2 years old, so they're still young. However, I have chickens that are about 5 years old, and I got about a dozen of them. The hens, they really, at 5 years old, they should have actually been changed out sooner than that. So I really need to start changing out my stocks. And I do let my girls have a long lifespan as much as possible. And I don't do it just for the eggs. Honestly, we are homestead self-sufficiently, and I know a lot of people don't agree with this, and I apologize, but in a self-sustaining lifestyle, this is basically what homesteaders do. So, and with my girls having a long life as it is, we gave them, they're eating better than we are sometimes. So, it is time I need to start replenishing my stocks. So I am starting with new equipment. My incubator, like I said, I purchased it when it was used, and I've already had it going on 5 years, so it is absolutely time. Now I will keep some of the parts for it, but the rest of it just needs to go. Now I'll set you up and finish our conversation here. Okay, I really hope that this information is helping you. We don't have to get into big, expensive things to have success on our homestead. Honestly, everything we've done, maybe the raised beds were a little higher only because of the price of lumber, but for the most part, we keep within a budget to do what we're doing, and it's proving to be successful. We don't have to have fancy things to make a homestead run. Now, it can get expensive the more you have, and I'll be honest, but there's where I try to find the best for my money. Just like going to Am I Gardener for my seeds. Varying out which is better for me. Is it better for me to buy chicks, or is it better for me to get eggs? Now, in some places, if I were to actually think about this, and as far as my eggs for my chickens, honestly, at this point, it'd probably be better for my chicks than it is the eggs, because those eggs can get pretty expensive. However, I'm going to rely on my own stock right now. If I couldn't, I would literally shop around for the best place. Now, when doing so, you may pay higher. Know how much you want, though. Know that is it in your budget. So if you have to start now small, if you wanted to do your own stocks, you could go small, get a rooster and a couple hens, start from there. You can produce your own this way with your own fertility. If all you're looking for, though, is hens, it can get expensive, y'all, because after a certain amount of time, you do have to replenish these stocks. Eventually, these girls, in time, they stop laying. They start molting quite a bit. And my 5-year-old girls, they've had 3 moltings already, and at this point, I'll be honest with you, they've pretty much stopped laying eggs. So, and like I said, I don't do this just for eggs. I get a multi-purpose out of this, but my girls, I give them a long life. So, but it is time for me to restock if I want to keep going. And now if I get to a point where genetic wise, I have to switch out, I'm still going to go ahead and choose my better option. Now, not because of the name or nothing like that. It's just based by my experience. And I'm not telling anybody. You choose to do what you folks would like to do. My experience in getting chicks from Tractor Supply have been very poor. It isn't due to their name. It's because of the quality. We would purchase chicks, and we had not had a good experience with them at all. But in another local area where they have chicks, we had excellent experience with them. So I'm going to vary my options on where the best for me to go. If you can trust somebody locally, that's even better. And you can actually get your eggs from them and hatch your own as well, which will come out cheaper, to be honest with you. 5 years ago when we started this homestead, I got a dozen barred rock eggs for free from a local farmer. I was blessed in that, and I've grown since then. So I'm just going to say is choose your options, do your research, and I'm hoping that those little tips in your incubators can help you with better success rates as well. So I'm sharing my experience. Is it right? Is it wrong? To be honest with you, I don't know. I just know that what's working for us, and what's working, all I can do is share it, because everybody has different experiences in different ways. That's like growing a plant. That's like making a homestead. I can't tell you how to build yours. I can't tell you to go out, grow big, or, you ain't no good. That's not true. I mean, I've had times where I planted on a very small space on a patio, and I was happy even with that, because I did something small for me and my family, but I grew from there because I've grown to love what I do. And this homestead is something I absolutely love, and that's the reason why I share it with you. I find it very beneficial to share homesteading with so many. And although homesteading seems to have been changed an awful lot, and I apologize for that, but like I said, I'm staying on the path, y'all, and I'm going to tell you, as a homesteader, making my own food from scratch, growing my own food. I thoroughly enjoy what I do. I love the results of doing all of this. I love the flavoring that comes from it. I love the saving benefit for working so hard from spring to summer and then preserving my own food. This winter has proven to me, when we've only spent about $200 through since the week before Christmas until now even, that's amazing, y'all. And to know that I have that sense of security that I can go into my pantry, although it's getting really low now, but still, I've had that sense of security to know that I provided for us in this sense. It did take me some hard work, and I could choose to do one or two things. I can look at what's going around us and say, okay, I'm going to pray for this, and I absolutely would. But am I going to hold a shovel in one hand and a pack of seeds in the other, pray over this land and say, Lord, okay, I'm looking for a blessing, but I'm going to stand right here, and I'm waiting for that blessing, but I never tilled that soil, and I never planted that seed. What am I going to expect out of that? Or am I going to work diligently hard and then enjoy the fruits of my labor, see the effect in my health, see the effect in my husband's health, the production that we get, the benefits that we get to store our own home, somewhat like our own grocery store, to be able to make my own food from scratch and know that that actually has flavor, and to know that I'm taking less preservatives in my body for doing my own. Homesteading is amazing, and I'm not stopping here. I'm just going to keep on growing, I'm going to keep on going, and I'm going to enjoy my life. And if I mean sharing it along and you take this tour with us, and if that's all it does is you take a tour with us, I hope you enjoy what you see. And somewhere along the end, I'm hoping it encourages you. I don't want to be the person to tell you, you have to do any of this. You don't. You absolutely don't. But if all you do is observe, hoping just a spark, just a tad little spark to do something small for yourself, just to test it out. Test out the waters. See what you think of it. And if not, enjoy the journey. I mean, it's pretty fun. And we are starting to reach spring, although our weathers are wonky still right now. It's going to come to a time, it's going to come very busy, and it's going to be showing so much more on here. So we will be doing a whole lot more. We're just getting started. So we're getting prepared for our bees. I'm getting prepared for my quail eggs. And trust me, all, when those eggs come in, I am definitely going to be doing the revealing and showing you the process, how I'm going to get this done. So I'm looking forward to that too. I seriously thought about it, and I'm ready for these quail. I really am. And we're looking at maybe hopefully some pheasants. So that's going to be interesting too. And again, I've already started our garden. I'm super excited, although they're early spring brassicas, and I am just getting started with peppers and tomatoes, and I will have to maintain them till about the middle of April. But I'm really excited because it's showing me that we are coming into progress, and it also shows me I'm going to be very, very busy. So with that, I am going to say my goodbye for today. I hope the information that I gave you will help you with your future, and I thoroughly enjoy spending time with each and every one of you. Much love, God bless, from Parton's Heritage Homestead.